Allan, the food dude, joins us here every Thursday at this time on Memphis Morning News. Well, hello, Allan.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
So you guys, you got through all that traffic that Wendy was talking about to get here?
Oh, man. As what do they like to say? The surface roads are busy.
Wendy Hayes' traffic report caused more traffic.
I think she does.
Because she's talking about that jackknife truck and everybody hit the side streets. And Allan, the food dude, almost didn't make it, which Jeff and I would not be happy about.
But I fought my way through.
Cinco de Mayo.
Well, Cinco de Mayo, whatever. Okay, we got. We're playing
Mexican
with
pasta.
What Italian food have you brought us?
I was kind of like listening to you guys go. Alan's going to bring us pizza, and I went, you're pretty darn close. Because we're going to talk. Well, we're going to talk a little more about pasta because last week we did a little bit. What is this food?
Yeah, you tricked us last week, Allan.
Tofurkey jerky or something.
Well, it's some not necessarily meat. All right. Well, this time, the big thing everybody loves right now is fresh pastas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what you got there is a 3-cheese tortellini.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
so I'm waiting on y'all to take a taste, and then I'm going to ask a question. Is that a fresh rolled tortellini, or is that dried?
This is dried.
That's dried. How do you know?
I just guessed.
You just guessed because it's Allan?
Yeah.
He looked me in the eye and went, no, it wouldn't be the fresh stuff. He brought the dried stuff.
Yeah.
All right. The reason I did that was it's spring, summer. Man, next week we got full-on summer temperatures coming. And pasta's light. It's fun. You'll also notice that you got a little fresh tomato happening in there from the garden. Got a little fresh asparagus happening in there.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, from the garden.
Oh, the asparagus was good.
Yeah. So, all right, I don't raise my own mushrooms, so I have to confess those are store-bought.
Now, what about your own meat? Do you raise your own meat?
The meatball was a store-bought this time.
Okay.
We're gonna say this meatball was store-bought this time. This time. I got something coming up for you guys.
All right.
So
can you tell? I mean, honestly, because I've had friends. I knew some people that went to Italy, and one of them came back. We had fresh pasta, and they were just bragging, fresh pasta, and the other buddy of mine's like, dude, it tastes like pasta.
It's exactly. It's all in. Is it prepped fresh? Right,
but he's like, it just tastes like spaghetti to me. It didn't taste like rolled fresh, or what do you get out of the package?
Pretty close. Now, different pastas have different effects, of course. So you get into a lot of pastas in Asian cuisines.
Right.
Now, the one I'm flipping out here, too, on Cinco de Mayo is, all right, in this particular case, you have a fairly traditional marinara sauce, a typical red sauce.
Okay.
All right. That could just have easily been a pico de gallo. Mm-hmm. Just as easily could have been a pace picante or something like that. So the point is, especially with pastas, anything you got in the fridge can instantly take a typical rigatoni and turn it into the perfect side for a steak because you put a little Caesar salad dressing on it.
Oh, yeah.
So the little things we're going to explore coming up. So you guys, I noticed you got real quiet.
Yeah, this is good.
So
man. This is like the comfort food.
Do you put mushrooms in everything you make?
No, not everything, but at certain dishes, just mushroom is just one of those base standards. So anytime I'm working around a marinara sauce,
there's got to be a mushroom in there.
It needs to be some kind of mushroom in there. So I have found from last week I'm slightly addicted to the shiitake jerky myself right now.
I'm not sure about that.
So I was like, it kind of grows on you. You eat about 3 or 4 of them, then you kind of like, well, those are pretty good. Let me try 3 or 4 more and see how I like them.
Now,
next thing you know, the bag's gone.
I like this cheese. What do you call
Tortellini?
this? Tortellini, basically. Yep. I like it with the white sauce.
Okay, you go with an Alfredo.
More cheese.
Yeah.
Yep. You're looking there. You're moving over into your provolones and your parmesans, and you got that nice cream base. Mm-hmm. And good Alfredo is awesome.
So you can make this a Mexican dish by just adding pico de gallo.
Easily. Instead of putting a marinara sauce on it, you could have gone with a pico de gallo.
Yeah.
You could have gone with a picante sauce or any type of flavoring on that. And to be honest, Ditch.
Please be honest, Allan.
A little queso blanco over noodles is astounding.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Just basically your good old-fashioned white cheese dip You sprinkle that over a little rigatoni or whatever you got.
Don't let ponchos on top of some noodles. The white
Oh, my
cheese.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds all right.
Something.
Yeah. Now, Alan, something you don't normally get into with us is because it's a big part of the food experience, the beverage.
That's true. We haven't done that yet.
Now,
so that's upcoming.
Red wines.
Right.
Red wines are very specific to certain dishes, right?
Right.
And would this be a red wine dish?
Yeah. Anytime you have a
Bud
heavy,
or a Bud Light dish.
Yeah.
well, anytime you've got a good heavy flavor, tomato, nice, bright, acidic, heavy flavor. It's the flavor that dominates any dish with a typical marinara sauce or a picante sauce. You're going to have those big, heavy, bright flavors. Now, do not be afraid to mix and match based on what your end result is. So let's say we're going with a picante sauce. So you want something that's not going to add to the acidity. So a white wine or a bubbling wine might be more refreshing and help break the not the acidity, but the heat from the food. You're looking to cool it off. As Jeff mentions, a nice beer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A good cerveza.
Good Jack and Coke.
That helps break some of that heat cycle so you're not constantly adding to it. Now, if you're going to do a steak or you're going to do a really like a lasagna, something like that, a red wine is a good hearty flavor, all those tannins in there that is going to help keep breaking the dish up. The idea of the beverage is not so much just to, keep you from being thirsty. When you really get into the beverage, the design of the beverage, and this doesn't have to be alcohol or not.
Clean your palate.
It's there to break the flavors up so you can enjoy the next dish.
Good unsweet tea.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to say. It's why the Southern standard is tea.
Yeah.
So you have a nice, a big cold glass of tea, sweet or unsweet, and in between the dishes
to break up between the potato salad and the macaroni and cheese.
Just give you a little.
You need
give you a
some
little
diabetes
separation.
to break up the obesity.
Yeah. Now we do take sweetened iced tea to an extreme. And when it comes out and it looks like simple
I had a bag
syrup,
of sugar with a little tea in it.
Yeah. That's. I've had that at more than one restaurant in the South.
Oh yeah, that's the way you do it, man. All right, Alan, where do they find this particular recipe today?
All right, they can just pop over to thecookingtodayshow.com and they can follow our culinary misadventures there, catch up with recipes. Here's some of the shows and broadcasts we've done.
And you can always go with the recipe that most moms in the Mid-South go with when you're growing up. I'm going to throw some spaghetti in there and a can of tomato sauce and a pound of ground beef. Boom, spaghetti, eat it.
Eat it. 10 minutes and you're eating.
I remember that. Had that a lot.
That is, the infamous hamburger helper years.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, they had about 25 different flavors.
Yeah.
So they were there. They
I think
had
Mom
the
just
idea.
put the tomato sauce.
Oh,
It wasn't even any like ragu or anything. It was like tomato sauce, ground beef. Mix
some
it with the noodles. Here you go.
Kids are fed.
Think about it, man. How really
And it was great.
Inexpensive it really is to feed yourself. I mean,
But people will prep their food.
Right.
It's really not.
Again, are you thinking ahead?
Yeah.
You got to kind of go back to the old market days where you didn't really have a refrigerator at home.
you went every day.
So everybody went to the market first thing in the morning. You picked up your bread. You picked up your consumables for the day. And whatever you had left over, that got transformed into maybe the beginning of tomorrow's dish.
That's why there's a myth about, I can't eat healthy, all that stuff. Y'all eat hell, it's so expensive. I go, no, buy it and prepare it. Yeah, if you're buying all the frozen food section stuff that's quote unquote health, it's going to add up. But get some vegetables and fruit and meat and prepare it yourself.
Well, it kind of drives me crazy I love these ads where you have like ovens that cook food for you.
Yeah.
And people are
cook
dancing and like
the air fryer. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
really,
like,
I've got a broiler.
That does not make sense.
Yeah, well, we call
air doesn't fry anything.
That was a toaster
we used to
oven
call
when I was
those
growing up.
convection ovens,
Yeah.
but apparently convection didn't sell like the word fry. So, they kind of took them all back to the factory, put a new label on them, and now they're air fryers.
Oh, man.
So, welcome to the food. But the big thing is, a lot of the pastas and rices, and we'll just leave it as noodles and your starches, potatoes, that kind of stuff. These have been the cornerstones of how to feed the pile of folks for thousands of years. And it hasn't changed. Yeah. It's fun. And the best thing is this time of year, it's fun food. I mean, honestly, food should be fun.
I don't ever look at my food as fun.
A cake is fun food, man.
Man,
ice cream is fun, Alan.
Sitting down to dinner is fun.
Yeah.
It should be.
Well, but most people don't do that anymore. I mean,
well, I understand, but
I know what you're saying. Sitting around the table and talking about stuff and eating and sharing the food.
And when you're the cook, having people go, this is pretty good. That's that's a little pat on the back that makes you a little more motivated to do something else in the kitchen. So, the kitchen is not a terrible, scary place. The advertisers would like you to think the kitchen is a terrible, scary place because they sell you prepackaged stuff. Right. But the kitchen really isn't. The kitchen is a wonderful place where you can have some imagination and have a fun meal.
It's funny when you see these ads from these prepackaged companies, that send you the prepackaged foods. It says food prepared for your lifestyle. No, what it is they're dictating the lifestyle to you. It's not your lifestyle that, what I'm saying.
Don't know my lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the lovely little pasta dish you had right there, what do you think the total prep time in that was?
2 minutes.
15 minutes to boil things, to get things, softened up enough to eat. But you're still talking
I ate it in 2
less.
minutes.
You were done that quick.
And you can make enough of that to eat on it for a couple of meals.
Easily,
several meals, yeah.
Easily, and very inexpensively. So, welcome to Cooking Today, our busy, crazy world.
All right, Alan, the food dude. Again, where do they find the recipes?
All they got to do is go to thecookingtodayshow.com and follow along.
Alan, the food dude, thanks. We'll see you next week. Watch, next week he'll bring a Mexican dish.
That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love Mexican food anytime.